What's up? This is Demrick.
Jamie Madrock.
Man, this your man's Obi Trace.
Staalin.
Yo, what up? This is Specs One.
This is Fresh K.
Hot Rock's motherfucking Scrat MC.
Breaking
Records.
Breaking Records Radio out here.
This is Breaking Records Radio.
Check them out, man.
Breaking Records Radio. Chilling with the man, Staalin. Don't know what it is. Fresh releases. Cut. Hip Hop Awards nominee for Best Rap Single and Best Songwriter. So, you know what I mean, man's got a hot name at the moment. I've been doing a lot of research and watching what he's getting into, so, you know, we just want to put some coverage on that. So, just want to get into it, like, just starting sort of from the beginning. How long have you been rhyming for, and what kind of artists did you listen to when you were coming up? And could you say that there's anyone that's inspired your flow?
So actually rhyming, I mean, I've been rhyming since I was a teenager, realistically, probably 13, 14 years old.
What up?
Starting out. We actually came out as a group before when we were about 14, 15 doing shows down in Toronto, Planet Mars.
I'm going to have to get my pen out, man. What was the name of the group?
We were called Soldiers of Fortune.
Soldiers of Fortune, yo, that's what it is. Yo, I've got the pen there. Yeah, you guys ever release anything?
No, actually, Soldiers of Fortune was made up of, I don't know, you know, Decisive.
Yeah.
And Unknown Misery.
Yeah. I know Babylon Warchild and that, yeah.
Yeah, and myself, and then the two, my homies, Young Shake and Big Lutz, who are part of my crew right now, CON.
Yeah.
So we came up, we all went to school together, came up, started rapping, and then, you know, as time went on, people went their separate ways and stuff. So.
Yeah, but was that as well before Babylon Warchild was started?
Yeah, that was way before all that. So those guys went and did their thing. We kind of branched off, did our thing.
Oh, that's cool, man.
And then we kind of took you know, life things come up, and you kind of take a break from, you know, doing music. And
word up.
So realistically, in the last 3 years, I'd say I really started to take the music thing more serious.
Mm-hmm.
About 5 or 6 years ago, I was working with a producer named Milguff, and we were putting together a project that never really materialized. I put out a single called Burn Slow that was getting a lot of buzz.
What up?
You know, getting played by a lot of the college stations and DJs around the city.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I took that hiatus, and you know, I had some legal stuff I had to deal with.
Yeah.
And then I came back the last 3 years, basically just trying to rebrand and rebuild.
Yeah. I've been kind of on the same thing as well, but it's always been there from young, like, you know what I mean? You've been like a solidified rapper working with other heads that are always coming with like the new thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right, that's deep, man. That's it. So what kind of artists were you listening to when you were coming out? I know, you know, you might have just been checking artists that you were chilling with, right?
Well, like, I mean, I came up in the 90s and was like, you know, the whole East-West Coast thing. So I was a straight East Coast man.
Yeah, of course.
So I was listening to like Nas and.
Word up.
Actually, my biggest influences are Razzcast.
Oh, word, shit, yeah, that's...
Razzcast is basically what we used to call the master, like Cannabis and Razzcast. Those
word
like
up,
real
yeah,
lyricists,
that's
right?
dope, yeah, that's dope.
And, I mean, Boot Camp Clip, they were basically the reason I started rapping. It was
Sick.
like Black Moon and those things. Those were like the first dudes I started listening to, really, you know, wanting me to start rhyming.
Yeah, kind of
so,
just...
yeah.
No, that's awesome. I love getting the names of like, the people that are listening to just for my own personal information. I want to start putting CDs out, the CD collection, all that boot camp. That's what's hot.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, I know you mentioned artists like Cannabis and Killer Priest, and I know you've opened for them guys, right?
Yeah.
And they're like two of my favourite lyricists, and I think it's great that you're working with those kind of names because, in my opinion, like lyrically, you guys are on the same level. So I just wanted to know, has anyone ever compared your delivery or your style to anyone else before?
Yeah, all the time. And like when I dropped Burn Slow and people actually started to hear me,
yeah,
I was compared to like Royce.
Word up.
And that was like, I mean, I was tripping off that because Royce is one of the dudes I
it's a massive
to,
compliment,
you know what I mean?
right? Like,
and it was one of those things like, yeah, dude's nice. He kind of sounds like Royce.
Yeah, that
dude is all right. You know, he's kind of lighter that Royce flow or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know,
it's more like just like similarities.
Yeah,
it's
just that similarity because coming up listening, I never really I had heard Royce before, you know, on a lot of joints with Eminem and stuff, but I never listened to Royce the way I listen to him now.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was funny to be compared to someone who I didn't listen to as much then.
And you've kind of grown into it.
Yeah, I kind of grew into it now, and I guess I don't know if I still sound like that to most people. I don't think I do. And but yeah, I mean, it's a huge compliment to be compared to someone like Royce, and even Joel Ortiz. You know, some people, maybe because it's my rhyming patterns or the way I flow or the way I write or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to be compared to dudes like that, like.
Yeah.
That's what you
know
strive
you're
to
hot,
be.
innit? You know you're hitting the mark and stuff.
Exactly,
And people are saying, yo, you sound like another top artist who is successful, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
like,
hard,
I mean,
innit? Like,
if someone said, yeah, you sound like Future, I mean, I don't know how much stock I put into something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's good.
So,
Is that, like, you know, your names are coming up in the same comparisons and stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's a bit of a bait question, but when I heard the Man of Steel tape, I immediately heard like a little bit of Jada in there, a little bit of Chic Luch and stuff.
Jada's another dude that,
you know, and I, like, but not like, you know what I mean? It's just you're doing you, but it just had like it had a bit of a classic element to it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's cool. I wanted to know about that. Yeah, when I listened to Grand Entrance and the Man of Steel tape, you sound like you got that legendary component to your flow. And I heard in another interview on the Hot TV, you said Canada's kind of been dubbed as America Junior. Does that affect how you're perceived as an artist out here?
Yeah, definitely. It's like, I mean, now in 2016, it's a little bit different. Probably, let's go back to like 98 to the early 2000s. Anybody who was really spitting back then was always getting the comparison to an American artist. So it was always like, okay, these guys are just swagger jacking these artists, right? Now, fast forward, it's like the sound is being developed, whether you like the sound or not. It's starting to come into its own, you know what I mean? And now whether you listen to that form of music or you hear true lyricists and songwriters and storytellers and stuff like that, when you hear them do their stuff now, it's kind of like it has more credibility, it has more, you know, more soul to it, has more of its own, you know, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like...
It's got its own characteristics.
It's got its own characteristics, it's valid, you know what I mean? Yeah. So when I said Toronto was being dubbed America Junior, it's because it's more so of the style of music that's becoming popular right now. You know, rap is becoming less of rap and more pop music. And that's what's buzzing in the States right now. I mean, the States has a massive population, so the underground pockets where there's still that real hip-hop element is still massive in the States. It's just being dwarfed by this popular music, right? And in Toronto, this popular music is starting to come up on the rise, but there's still those dudes who are doing it on that real hip-hop level, right?
On the original kind of basis of it. Well, yeah, that's some very good insight there, so just take note on that. Okay, so yeah, into the Grand Entrance joint. So Grand Entrance is one of the illest joints I've heard in a minute, and I think you really hit the mark with that single and with the video. And why I'm doing this is because I want to get Staalin the exposure he deserves so he can win the award. So just as a quick plug, what you want to do is go to www.cuthiphopawards.com and vote. And Staalin's been voted for Best Rap Single with Grand Entrance and also for Best Songwriter with the track Was, which is an acronym for We Are Slaves,
That's
right?
correct.
So is that the first time you've ever been nominated for an award?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest. Well, I mean, something on that level, definitely.
How does that make you feel? For someone who's been grinding at it for quite a while. Like,
I feel honored, man. Like they always say that, you know, it's always an honor to be nominated for anything, whether you win or not.
Yeah, of course.
You know
You were in the running out of all the artists that are making tracks and doing it big. There's like 10, and you're one of them 10 or whatever, right?
Exactly. And it's like, I mean, I think most people know, but music especially in this country, it's a hard thing to get into.
Yeah,
you
man,
know what I mean?
big time.
So I mean, I have my days where I have my ups and downs, and it's like, you know, what am I doing this for? Is it worth the grind? You know? And when stuff like this comes up, like these kind of nominations or or doing battles or doing shows, competitions and stuff where I win, or you know,
It's kind of like an incentive
yeah,
to keep
it's
going.
like it's
right?
like a validation of everything that I've done to that point. You know,
Yeah.
is it good enough for people to enjoy?
Yeah.
And when I see these things happen, you know, it kind of reaffirms that okay, yeah, you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. You
Yeah.
know, keep doing what you're doing. You know,
It's working.
Yeah,
right?
it's working.
Yeah. So how did that come about? Like, how did you get nominated for that award? Like, do you know them guys at the Cut Hip Hop thing? I mean, do you know about that?
Well, I got a big endorsement from Chris Rocks Jackson, who's one of the
Maximum
FM personalities.
Shout out Chris Rocks and Mike Boogie. You don't know what it is, yeah.
Chris Rocks, Mike Boogie. I always call Mike Boogie Mike Guts by mistake, but this time I got it.
We got it.
So, but yeah, those guys. I mean, those guys have been a huge part of the growth of my career because I mean they play not just my music. They support. They put on for their city. They put out
big time.
You know, at not only the city, the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
man. Word up.
And they've always been big supporters of me. Always like encouraging me when there's events, whether it's big ticket. You know, and I come out and they're always like, yo, you know, keep doing your thing, you know, we got you, you know.
Word up.
So like stuff like that is always good it's always good to hear, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You always want to have that validation and know that, you know, you're doing good. So
because I remember at the Maximum FM Maximum TV launch, we were chilling and they had the radio show going on, but then in the other room where they had like drinks and, you know, it was all catered. And they had a DJ just playing joints for the guests.
Right.
Your joint came on, right? And that's why we kind of got chatting, because I just thought it was cool how, like, out of all these rappers who are at the party, they're playing your stuff, though, isn't it? You know, they played, like, one of my friends' joints, and they played your stuff, and I was like, well, that's pretty hot, you know, it's a good look.
Yeah, definitely a good look. And it's like, we joked about it at the time, because it's like, you're not used to, I mean, I'm not at that level to be used to stuff like that, you know what I mean? So you'll come into a place and people start, yo, Staalin, you know, yo, play that track, you know what I mean? And it feels kind of weird, but it feels good at the same time. You know that people appreciate what you try and do. You put your heart and soul into music. You know?
Has it been hard trying to fit into that, like to kind of like match the hype that you're getting?
Yeah, it is. It is kind of hard.
Because you know, everyone's going for the. You know, I don't know. Sometimes I think people like maybe yourself, you just grind out of love, like you love rapping, but then. All of a sudden it's like now you're big kind of thing, like you've done all this work and then it's like it's a kind of whole nother ball game, like the whole kind of personality and how you present yourself. It's not just getting on the mic no more and spitting. Like, so how is that for you like at the moment?
Like, I mean, I've been a big proponent of just being yourself, right? The way that you are with people, you know, the respect that you show people and the respect they show you back. If you just, it doesn't matter if you're an up-and-coming artist or if you're like, you know, a top Billboard charting artist. If you maintain that same level of respect and humility is a big key. Because a lot of guys get, you know, a little bit of fame, a little bit of money, and then it goes,
getting that helium head and shit.
You know what I mean? So and they start to lose people because of that. Even though it's expected because you see it all the time. It happens all the time. So I mean, that's one of my biggest fears. Is if I ever got to that level, how would I be able to maintain
myself?
You know what I mean? And I keep telling myself, yo, be thankful for everything you get. Be thankful for every even opportunity to sit with you and be interviewed. You know, I gotta be grateful and thank you for having me come out because you're helping me. You know what I mean? You don't have to. You know what I mean? So just appreciating those kind of things is what keeps me level, I guess.
Well, it's very refreshing to hear someone with such a good attitude because, like, you know, it's the rap scene. You meet a lot of people who are dicks and stuff. So, you know what I mean? Someone who's actually nominated, who's actually doing the thing, who's been grinding for a long time, and still can come down and sit and be like, I'm respectful and appreciative of interview opportunities and stuff. So maybe that's a little gem for them MCs out here. How you actually need to act when you do start getting big, because a lot of people ain't even ready for that.
Be humble, man. That's the biggest. If I could tell anybody anything, that's the biggest thing to do is be humble, because no one likes a jackass or a dickhead, you know what I mean?
Word up, yo, or a dickhead and that. Yo, so like, do you have like management and stuff, or are you doing it yourself? Like,
everything I do right now, I'm self-managed.
Word up.
I've kind of been up and down on where I want to go. I mean, it's hard to do that stuff yourself. As
Yeah.
artists,
Oh
you
yeah.
know what I
Believe
mean?
me, I know.
So
How do you find it managing your own career and stuff? Because I mean, just when I'm trying to prepare for interviews, obviously, you know, you approach the internet and you got a lot of stuff on there, you know.
Yeah.
And even when I was like trying to share some of the Cut Hip Hop Awards, you know, I can see you're on it. You know when people tag you, like, so, like, you know, you're up to date on your own. Like, how do you find that managing your own social media and
it's
creating
exhausting.
that brand for yourself?
Social media, I mean, it's good and it's bad. It just opened a whole floodgate for a lot of people, right? And opened a lot of doors for people.
And you've obviously been doing that before all this.
Yeah.
Like
So now
rapping in Toronto, before
exactly.
mobile phones, the internet, all that crap.
Coming
like,
with backpacks with CDs and going down, like you don't even have to do that anymore.
So,
I mean,
so you've
people do it.
adapted. You've managed to ride the wave from the 90s into
you gotta do it that way, because the people who are buying the music aren't necessarily people my age. You know what I mean? They're guys coming up, young kids, a lot of women coming up, young. You know what I mean? So it's like you never close the door on things like backpacking and, you know, selling CDs out of your backpack.
Yeah, yeah.
But you gotta incorporate a lot of the modern techniques in order to stay relevant. You gotta be up on the Instagram. You gotta be up on the Snap. I didn't even know what Snapchat was.
Yeah,
I didn't even get a Snapchat. You know what I mean? But it's like you gotta be a part of this is what the culture has evolved into, right? You know, rap is much bigger than it was. I mean, it's not the same rap, but rap as a whole is much bigger now than it ever was, because you know
it's so accessible, right?
It's so accessible. The commercialization of it has broadened the audience to rap, right? They're using it in commercials, they're using it in movies. You know what I mean?
Everything.
So the opportunities for people to make money or to become popular, whatever it is you're in it for, it's there. You just gotta know how to ride the wave and pick and choose, you know, the things that you got to do to be successful. You know, and that's been the hardest thing when you manage yourself. It's like, as a rapper, I don't want to have to do that. So I don't want to sit there on social media trying to stay up on stuff. But you got to do it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You got to be in touch with people who potentially like your music.
Yep.
You know, and they want to know you as a rapper and as a person, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard in an interview with Styles P that he was saying, you know, nowadays people want to buy into lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, so they want to know like where you hang out, what you're drinking, what shoes you're wearing and stuff like that. So I think that's very interesting that you know, you've managed to adapt to it and stay on top of it when some people haven't, or you know, people still have the skills but they just can't really get with the whole internet thing. Fundamentally, what area did you prefer? You know, I mean, I know you say like now it's more accessible, people can go online after this, type in Staalin with 2 A's and watch a tune like that, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you like it more? Do you think it's even though it's beneficial, is it better now or was it better in the 90s? Like, what did you like more, like, or do you like it now that you reckon it's accessible and you can get shine from anywhere on the internet when people just log on and follow you?
I mean, it's easier now. I think what it has done is opened the door for, it's watered down a lot of the level of talent.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
because now you've just opened a portal that anybody can walk through.
Yeah.
You know, one day, and I've seen it. I know dudes who are just like, you know, they're selling on the corner and they watch it and oh, you know what? I'm gonna do that.
Shit,
they have their stack.
yeah.
They get their studio time. They do what they do, and boom, you know, they're in the portal with everybody else. You know? Where back in the days, it was more like people had to be more selective. People, I think, spoke more truths back then. It was like you were average, so I don't think a rap career is in the cards.
It's still gonna happen for you.
And, you know, and it would stop right there. But if you were good, and you were decent, if you were like, you know, Chaclair, or if you were Socrates.
What up,
you know what I mean?
Socrates.
You know what I mean? If you are on that level and people are supporting you and saying,
you got you're support from the community and stuff.
You're the one out of all these dudes who think they could rap, but you're actually the one who could do it.
Yeah,
we're going to put you up there. So one guy goes to the portal instead of 20 guys, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you got to take the good with the bad. If your music is good enough, hopefully people will see that it's good enough and they'll filter through all the bullshit and still pick you out of that 20.
Yeah.
And that's the hope, and that's the challenge, right?
Okay, that's very insightful, and obviously that's why he's up in the place now. So you know, this is the one you want to pick out of the
I'm
20.
the one.
Number one. Yeah. Okay, so what do you prefer, songwriting or performing? Or do you think they're both
they're kind of
hand in hand?
hand in hand. Like performing, I mean, I still get I still get nervous when I perform every time. You know, it's like, I guess it's that adrenaline.
Yeah,
thing.
man.
But once I get up there, it's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. You know, I was there, and as soon as I step on the stage, everything just changes. You know, and when I come off the stage, it's like I'm back. But like, I mean, I love writing music. I'm not one of those dudes, surprisingly, who just sit there and just write all day or write to beats just randomly. I'm more of a,
You got to feel the joint, and you
yeah,
kind of have.
I have projects. I have things. Someone comes to me, yo, I need you on this track. Yeah, okay, send me the beat, or let's go to the studio. All right, boom. I do it. Everything I write has a purpose.
Yeah.
There's very few like just loose bars that I just have around, because a lot of dudes do that. They just write and write, which is, there's nothing wrong with that too. They write and write, and then when someone says, "Oh, jump on a feature," and they go through their book and just look for something to match.
About 16, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I'm not about that. Everything, if someone,
it's for a purpose.
yeah, anyone who asks me for a feature, know that you're getting something fresh. You're getting.
Oh, that's good.
You give me the beat, you give me the concept, whatever. You're getting like my 100% best at that moment.
What up?
You know what I mean?
And what are you saying about features? Are you the kind of guy at the moment who's up for working with artists? Maybe people see this and they want to holler at you. Like,
yeah, man. I work with a lot of people. I work with dudes who've been doing it for years, who are on that certain level. I've worked with dudes who are just starting out rapping. You know, people who had the correct business. They came to me correct. You know what I mean? They didn't just, you know, holler at me on Facebook and say, "Yo, son, you want to do a track together? I don't know who you are." You know, they came, they sent an email, or they even if they hollered at me at Facebook, they were like, you know,
respectful and
you know,
professional.
yeah,
kind
you know,
of
I
thing,
listen to this. I like your son. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. You know, I'm hoping if you'd like to step on something like this. And 9 times out of 10, you know, I'll take it. Once I see your name, I'll take in anything you've done, and I'll be honest. I'll be like, okay, this guy's not quite there, but maybe there's something I could offer to him. You know, maybe I'll jump on a track with him and be like, maybe I'll just have to body him on the track for him to realize,
to get to the level.
You know,
like,
okay, I need to step up. You know what I mean?
So you kind of almost like like from where you come from, you can almost like look at the game in terms of like maybe even a bit of a father figure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know,
you've had a lot of experiences and come up from young doing it. So like now you can sit back and kind of show some wisdom and stuff.
I try. I'm not gonna be the one to sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm the end all be all and I know everything." But people helped me. Like, I didn't do everything by myself. You know, people helped me. Mm-hmm. They told me whether stuff was good or stuff wasn't good. And I took that criticism and I worked it into try and be better, you know what I mean? And when people take the time to do it correctly and come to me and be like, you know, this is what I want to do, do you think we can work, or do you think I'm good enough, or do you, like, you know, I'm honest with them. And I think people respect that, and which is why they keep asking me to do stuff like that.
So you got to work with them, right?
Yeah.
So just, if you're going to holler at anyone, especially with Staalin, just come correct, get your etiquette right, and just do your research and make sure you know, like, you know what I mean, what it is before you do it.
Man, and just know, it's all about business. It's all about business.
You want to come break bread, yeah.
I'm an easygoing man, and I'll work with anybody. I'll work with you. You know, people got budgets, big budgets, little budgets. It's not about money for me. It's about time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You gotta appreciate that this stuff. I'm not going in the booth drunk and just rambling off the top of my head and putting it out there for you guys to buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I'm putting everything I experience. I'm putting time into thinking of what I'm writing. You know what I mean? So it's just like making a chair or making a sofa. You know, it's
the craft.
It's the craft. You know, so just respect the craft. Respect. It's like with beat makers. I see a lot of beat makers posting, you know, no free beats. And I feel what they're saying because it's like these dudes, that's what they're doing, right? Some of these guys, that's what they do for a job. They're trying to feed their kids, they're trying to feed themselves, you know? So I gotta appreciate that. And if I approach a beat maker, I gotta know that I'm approaching them ready to pay them money.
Okay. So yeah, just understand that like rap is fun and it's a thing that you can do, but also like there's people out there taking it seriously and it is also a business. So just know that.
Respect the business.
Respect the business. Okay, so like when I was watching your videos, they seem very innovative and up to date with the current visual styles that I'm seeing. So I just wanted to know, like, what's your involvement in the creative process? Say with like grand entrance or whatever, do you just star in it and turn up and just like perform, or do you like to come up with your own concepts and get involved with like the directing and stuff? And
everything is me for the most part.
Word.
When it comes to that stuff, I'm a bit. If I will say something bad about myself, is I'm a little bit of a control freak when it comes to videos. But on the flip side, like the dudes I work with Urban Visions Films.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, what's it like working with Urban Vision Films? Because you know,
those guys, they're young dudes, they're young, hungry film. Those guys aren't like rap video directors or video. Those guys are filmmakers.
Word.
Right, and I'm trying to craft them into doing the rap, doing the rap stuff. But the reason I work with them is because they don't have that rap video director mentality. They have the filmmaker mentality, right?
And you can see it because it looks big, man. It doesn't look like some small little thing. It looks like a big thing, like.
And I mean, whether it's a big budget shoot or a small budget shoot, the concepts, the ideas, the angles, everything, those guys do it better to me than a lot of dudes who've been doing it for years and years and years, right? But it's just because of how the the schooling, the education, they have the vision that they have, the creativity. So I mean, it's good to those dudes are my dudes. Those are the guys I work with for the most part for videos. Not to say that I wouldn't work with anybody else, but I like dudes who have that creativity and have that thought process beyond rap. It's not about the rapper standing there with 30 guys behind them with guns and liquor and doing whatever.
Stereotypical bullshit.
I mean, once in a while you're gonna have a track that suits that concept.
Good kind of video and shit.
There's gonna be tracks that suit that concept, and you shoot it, accordingly. But every video can't be like that. Every video can't have women objectifying themselves. Again, there's nothing wrong with it if it suits
in the right context.
If it's in this context. But people just say, you know what, this is what gets me views. Let's just put women, let's put cars, let's put money, let's put guns. Yeah. Let's put a dance in it.
So you like to kind of be involved in how you're gonna look, and you want that to have some integrity, right? You want to keep your integrity.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to be stereotypical.
Yeah.
When I write the video is what I have in mind when I'm writing.
Oh really? Shit. You're thinking that far ahead already.
I'm thinking, as I'm writing, what would this look like visually? Shit. Everything I write is a visual thing, right? So when it comes down to it, if I want to do a video, I already have most of these ideas in my head way before the video even starts. It's just a matter of how realistic is it. What's the budget going to be to do something of that nature, right?
What's the response been like to Grand Entrance? Obviously, you've been nominated for the award. Has all the feedback been positive?
Surprisingly, for the most part, it has been.
I thought you were going to say that still,
The thing that's funny is when I sat down and I actually wrote that song, as I'm writing, like when I said that first line, that fuck Drake
and every rapper,
and it was like I guess when I was about to write, I was in a certain place, I had that certain anger, or I had something must have happened that made me say that first line. And from the moment I said that, I was like, you know what, this is going to be either a great thing or it's going to be a really bad thing, right?
Make or break situation,
right. And I said, you know what, whatever, let's go for broke, because it's about telling the truth and it's about, putting it out there for people. And I think why people are liking the song so much is the fact that it speaks a lot of truth, right?
Yeah, bro.
It speaks a lot of truth.
It's definitely what caught my attention.
But it's not, again, it's not a personal attack as a lot of people take it as. I mean, even people who like it and they're like, yeah, I love, fuck Drake, I hate that guy, I like that you dissed him. And I'm like, well, it's not even about me dissing him. It wasn't intended to be a diss. It was intended to be, this is what everybody looks at Toronto rap music as.
Yep.
This is our representative of the scene, and that's completely false.
Yeah, true, yeah. Because I met no one out here that is on that type of material. Right?
Yeah, I mean the percentage is
The
growing.
actual,
Is growing right now, but like it's the copycats, and they're more the people who I'm referring to. It's like anybody who sounds like him. He has his sound, whether it's his sound or not. That's the sound that is synonymous with Drake. So much respect to Drake for doing what he's doing with his sound and the popularity and the notoriety he's brought to the country and to the city where that's concerned. And I can never be mad at someone who's doing that, and he's making his money, and I can appreciate that. I was a big Drake fan when he first came out, when everybody in the city hated this guy.
Yeah, what up?
You know what I mean? Or thought he was whack or whatever. I thought he was one of the illest people I ever heard.
What up?
You know what I mean?
What kind of tapes are you referring to there? What?
I think the first joint I ever heard from him, first joint he ever dropped was called "The City Is Mine."
Shit.
Right? And
yeah, man, I heard that shit.
Yeah, and I thought that was like one of the hottest joints I heard in a minute. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know he was on Degrassi until my manager at the time told me that. Right?
Shit.
So, but I mean, I digress. So it wasn't about him specifically. It wasn't about P. Rain when I say fuck P. Rain, or unless I willfully say something like I said about A-Game, because those guys are fucking whack. I don't care what anyone has to say. You know what I mean? You heard me say that. If they got a problem with that, they know what to do. But, if I'm dissing someone, you'll know that I'm dissing them. You'll hear it.
Are people trying to because I wanted to try and get into that, and I got to say props to a rapper that can make a classic banger with elements of controversy, but and just number one, stand by your convictions and be like, yo, I said it, yeah, what, and I said it and I stand by it. Are people, are people kind of trying to maybe push you in a direction to be get your war face on and stuff like that? They want to see more shit like that from Staalin, or is that just that was that joint and we're moving on to the next thing?
Yeah, it's not even. I'm not really getting that from people. What I'm getting is what I hoped to get. I mean, it was the best of both worlds. You have the people who thought it was a dope track for the lyricism, for the flow, for the beat, for whatever, the energy. Then there's the people who thought it was a dope track because they thought it was just straight, I'm dissing all these dudes.
Yeah,
right?
what up?
And for me, it's for me to do another track, if I ever do a track similar to that, or if you hear me mention names, where I do have tracks where I take little subliminal shots at, and people will know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not that subliminal that you won't know, but this is what hip hop is about, right? It's about, there can only be one dude at the top, maybe a couple. But if you want that top spot, you got to try and take that dude down. When Jay-Z was on the top of the rap game for years after Big and Pac passed, and there was dudes constantly taking shots at him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to expect that when you're at the top. But it's not necessarily a personal thing. It's just,
that's just the game.
I feel I'm better than everybody else.
Yeah.
So I gotta act, I gotta rap like I'm better, and I gotta show and prove, basically, right?
So that leads me on to saying, off the back of that, can you give us some insight into how you present yourself so well in both categories, as a real lyricist, a street dude, and then to a family man who looks like he's ready to go on TV and start taking offers from major labels? How do you kind of wrap all that into one package and just present yourself like that?
Again, like I said before, you gotta just be yourself, right? You can't really you gotta know, all right, there's certain things that are for TV, there's certain things that are for the street, there's certain things for everybody, right? You don't have to go out and put on like a mask and act accordingly all the time. You gotta just do you. You know what I mean? And you know, I know what my personality is. I find myself to be a pretty laid back, chilling person, right? And I treat that in every aspect. Obviously, there's certain levels of professionalism when you deal with, you know, executives for labels and you know, people in the streets and stuff like that. But it's people can tell if you're being legitimate, you know, if you're being real. Yeah. And I just try to be as real as I am. You know, there's no pretending. Yeah. So, and I think that's why. The success that I'm having right now, I'm not doing anything. To me, I'm not doing anything spectacular. Yeah. You know, I'm just doing me. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to do it as best as I can, and people are recognizing it, and they are gravitating to it. You know, there's so much bullshit out there that when people see something good, it just makes that good great. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing extra or anything extraordinary about what I'm trying to project to people. Just being myself, you know?
Oh, well, that's a very inspirational comment, man. Like, I think that's sick for, you know, people that are kind of getting, you know, like a bit controversial and stuff, and then some people like play into it, or like you can see it's false, or, you know, like the track's really good, but then, you know, they're not humble enough to actually sit there and like give really great kind of advice within how you should act in your career if you're trying to be a rapper in this game. So just I'm always trying to bring the jewels and get the jewels out of people from what they're doing in their career. So I think that's definitely saying that.
What I will say though is, if the last bit of advice for rappers, if you want to take that controversy route, know that there's risks in doing it, right? If you're going to do something, make sure that you can back up what you're doing, right? Make sure that if you're going to say that you're the best, like my Twitter, my Instagram, everything I say, I'm the best rapper, period.
Yeah, that's so sick as well.
Yeah. I try to live up to that with every track that I drop. Everything I write has to, even when I'm writing, if it's not up to par, I just scrap it. Because I'm like, this is not even on a level that I could say this is the best rapper writing this, you know what I mean?
So you even put that on yourself.
Oh,
like,
you got
yo, I've put myself on all this social media as the best rapper, so this bar ain't hot enough, next one. Like.
You gotta be that way. Yeah. And if you're gonna take that controversy route, so going back to your previous, but if I thought that it was gonna work out, I don't know if it was gonna work out. And there's maybe, I could count on my hand people who liked the track but weren't like hating on the track. They were hating more on, oh, you shouldn't talk about somebody you don't know like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? There was maybe one or two people who said that. But on the flip side, they said, yo, it's a dope track, but I would ease up on talking about this or ease up, and I'm just like, ease up for what?
Yeah, man, yeah. Like, it's just like, you know, I was going to say, you know, you pretty much answered it about starting controversy with that bar. Because nowadays, I just think artists are scared to be that real. So that's why, like, what immediately, like, you know, maybe want to get you in for an interview, and what has kept that CD in my Mac playing it was because I'm like, yo, like, that's the kind of shit that I used to listen to from the 90s that I liked, when people kind of, it's like, you know what you're doing, but it's got that, like, you know, kind of like rattling the game a little bit, and I don't give a fuck kind of attitude, and I think so many people now, they just get on, they play the game, and you want to try and be this like big personality, but you won't say anything.
That's what you're saying is exactly right. They play the game, and I mean, actually, it's funny. Yesterday, I posted on one of the social media, whether it's Twitter or Facebook. I asked a question. I was like, because I follow everybody, like any rapper, any beat. I'm reading what they're saying. You know, Facebook is my book, basically. So, and I've seen a lot of people in the city, I'm not going to name names, you know, commenting on specific tracks by specific artists. And I listen to what they're saying about the music, and I look at who's saying it, and I'm like, wait, you're the same dude when you're around your hood people, or when you're at the show and I'm hearing you and you're talking, you're like, yo, you know, this guy sucks, or this guy's whack, or he doesn't put on for the city, or he doesn't do this. But then, in the public, you're trying to save face. Oh yeah, this guy's doing this for the city, you know, because they're not trying to burn any bridges, you know, down the line. They're trying to get on with the dude who's running the game in the city. You know what I mean?
So you're still on the sly, like people don't even know. You're chatting shit, man. Like
fuck that guy.
And
but
people recognise it. Like people do know what's going on.
Yeah,
so
and on the low, they want to still be a part. They want to have like their hand in the jar over here, but still be like close.
I normally think like that, and you know, with the whole interview, you know, of the kind of like the integrity and the keeping it real and staying true to yourself. You can't have both.
No,
you can't say fuck him. Can we do a track together? You know, what I mean? Like fuck him on the low, and then go on social media and kiss his ass. Because the real people that are seeing that, even if you're not dissing them, you're going to burn bridges yourself, because people are going to analyse that you're fake.
Exactly.
And it's that social media thing. Watch that social media thing, because people are slipping on there, bro.
Yeah.
All right, just more jewels. So, okay, just kind of finishing up. Just out of interest, one of the first Canadian crews that I started listening to in the UK was Babylon Warchild.
Okay.
I thought they were from the States at first. Like I was on all these like YouTube channels that were just loads of underground hip hop and stuff that I'd never heard of, and I was playing them, and I was like, yo, this is sick. Like, and then I've been out to like you know, Dundas and like the Studio Bar, and I've seen these dudes do it live, and I know they've expanded Babylon Warchild quite, like they've got like little kind of sub crews and stuff. So what's your relationship with Unknown Misery, and can you tell us how you guys hooked up on that grand finale joint of the Man of Steel tape?
Well, like I said before,
you said you guys go back quite like.
Yeah, we go back way back from when we were like youth. So it was more of you know, and he's a shouts to Misery. He's been doing his thing. I'm proud of the stuff that he's accomplished. I'm proud of what.
And it's been reaching UK and stuff. You know what I mean? People over there.
They've been touring Europe, Asia. Like I'm super happy for them. You know, and shouts to Decisive too. He's been doing his thing. He's up there as one of the top Canadian hip hop artists.
Well, even they had that app a little while ago. Yeah, they had like the Babylon Warchild like app and stuff, or like a computer game kind of thing. Like it's kind of crazy how they expanded and stuff.
But Misery and I've been went way back, and we kind of went apart for a bit. And with the grand finale, I just knew, like I hit him up. I was just like, yo, you know, I have this joint. I think it would be dope if you're on it, because. My next boy was on Big Lutz. He was part of my crew. Yep. I mean, we are all in that original Soldiers of Fortune crew, and it was more of a nostalgic thing, you know. I was just like, sick. You know what, you know, if you're interested, you jump on this joint. And he's like, yeah, I'm down. And
it's like a little bit of a reunion almost, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit, you know. But it turned out well, and you know, maybe in the future we'll do some more work. Who knows how things, you know, schedules and stuff like that work.
Well, I mean, me personally, I'd definitely like to hear some more of that, because I thought that was an amazing track, and you know, definitely got the right MCs on it. So yeah, that was great. So just final questions, obviously quite big ones. If anything, what's the Toronto scene missing, and on a bigger scale, what's hip hop missing, if anything?
In Toronto?
In your opinion?
Toronto is missing realness right now.
What up?
You know, that's basically what they're caught up. Not Toronto in general is caught up in a lot of the hype of this pop music era. So, you know, I think people need to dig a little deeper into Toronto. Basically, is what
I had to, and when I was coming out here, I was, you know, searching and stuff, and I found some artists online, but obviously now I'm in the city. Yeah. All the artists that are my favourite artists that I'm listening to, like, they are online when you know who you're looking for, but like, yeah, you got to dig. You got to dig. Or come out here at least, you know, and check it. Like.
So I mean, a lot of, which is what I give a lot of respect to Maximum FM and Chris Scott Rocks and My Boogie for putting together the platforms that they put with the big ticket showcases, and now with the MaxNow.tv and the radio station. Like, those are things that Toronto's missing. Toronto's missing mainstream hip hop radio.
Yeah.
That, I mean, and that goes without saying, that's been an issue for years and years and years.
Yeah.
But now, because the times are changing, radio is being so readily available online and stuff, you know, it's becoming less, I wouldn't say it's less important. It's just more, it's more important for people who are not in the scene to be able to see those artists who aren't being exposed.
Yeah.
We need that mainstream radio station to expose it to people who don't want to dig, or who don't know to dig, or don't know how to dig. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that is a huge missing piece right now. But there's people out there like Mike Boogie, like Chris Got Rocks, who are, you know, putting these platforms, and other people are seeing what they're doing and trying to model what they're doing now like that. And hopefully you get more and more people doing that.
It's like Maximum FM's kind of like the catalyst to just
they,
like
they,
blow it
they
up.
sparked it, you know what I mean? So hopefully more and more people start to build like that. They've always said, oh, there's no major record labels out of Canada or based in Canada or anything like that. I mean, I guess you got the OVO sound thing going now, but like more of that. More people trying to develop the infrastructure of music in Toronto, you know what I mean? Rap music in Toronto. Because, I mean, there's other genres of music that are very successful out of the country.
Yeah.
Alternative music.
Rock and stuff,
rock,
and
you know what I mean?
indie and stuff, like.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, yeah, and then, you know what I mean, if that does go through, then, you know what I mean, you're going to see more big artists coming out of definitely this city, and more good music, man. So, like, I'm behind it 100%. That's why we're trying to get Staalin up in here right now. And finally, the last question is, I always ask everyone this because I just want to see what good artists are saying themselves. Who's the nicest in the city?
In Toronto right now?
Yeah. Who do you think?
Me. I'm the nicest.
I knew you was going to say that. Exactly. That's what it is. Yo.
I'd have to think, aside from me, I'd have to really think about that. Because there's a lot of dudes who are...
Maybe not the nicest, maybe not who you're just going to give the crown to or whatever, make it all official. Who's like 3 dudes you're listening to? Like, who did you play in your car on the way down here? Like,
okay, I'd say Set 2 is one of the dudes I listen to. I work with Set 2.
What up?
Number of joints. He's on a joint that I'm working on my next project, but he's a dude where I listen to every track.
What's the next project called?
The next project is called FRW, From Russia With Love.
From Russia With Love, Part 2.
So I had From Russia With Love, Volume 1, which was just a mixtape that I had out online. So this next project is either, I haven't fully decided if it's going to be EP or a full-length album yet, but we're just putting together the music for that right now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Set 2 definitely one of them.
Yeah, word up, we're going to have to check out Set 2.
Obviously, the MBS, Natural Born Strangers, Tona, and Rich Kid and Adam Bomb.
Yeah.
Those guys are doing their thing right now. And who else would I say? There's that young guy, John River. He's pretty nice.
Yeah, word up.
He's pretty nice with it.
It's cool, man. I just like to get some names, do you know what I mean, to see what other artists are listening to, because sometimes I find, like, you know, you're talking to people that are so about this music and so about hip hop, and then I'm like, well, what are you listening to? And they can't even really name anyone. Like, I like that. Like, I don't like. I heard a Rich Kid. I heard a Set 2, but it's cool to just know that artists that are doing it big and are doing like a lot with videos and, you know, developing the scene are also still checking out young cats, checking out and supporting it themselves. You know what I mean? Like, enjoying influence.
You got to know what's going on in the city.
Yeah, well, I just think personally, like, a lot of people don't even understand that aspect of it anymore, and they just want to keep all the shine for themselves, and I just don't. I just want to showcase that, like, that's not how it's done, you know. Coming from people that are in the game doing it big, like.
You got to support you got to, hold on, you don't got to support everybody, but you got to show support to people, especially if you like the music. Don't just say, yeah, I like that track, and then that's the end of that. You know, you don't tell your friends about it, you don't share it or whatever. Those people it's good that you like the track, but the whole purpose of music is sharing it with other people so that they can get the same enjoyment that you get from it, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to help other artists. I mean, I try and share other artists' stuff all the time, because especially if I think it's good.
Yeah.
It's worth listening to. If I appreciate it, I know other people are gonna appreciate it. You know what I mean?
And it maybe even getting the endorsement, you know, like if you like, yo, he's hot, and if he's listening to that, then instantly I should just go check that out because it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, I mean, you get that kind of recognition or whatever, but that's cool. I'm definitely gonna go check them artists out and try and hollow at them artists. So, you know, where can people listen to your music and catch you online? Where do you want people to go and like keep you
You
up?
can go to my main website, StaalinMusic.com. That has basically the links to everything I've ever done is through there. Whether it's videos, YouTube videos, SoundCloud. I have my first album, Iron Curtain 2.0, on there. The new album, Iron Curtain 3, and yeah, SoundCloud stuff.
So you can get to the website. Go to the official website.
Go to my website.
Everything's on there.
Anything you want to know about me is on there.
Okay, yo,
Music,
that's what it is.
everything.
All right, well, just you know, from Breaking Records and from myself, Maxwell Scott, I just got to say, yo, thanks for stopping by and giving us such a cool interview. And you know, you can just catch it on the flip side, and we'll be waiting for that From Russia with Love Part 2. You know?
Yeah, no doubt. Don't forget to vote. Vote like 10 times a day.
Yeah, you got up to 10, so make sure, you know what I mean. Don't
So
just
that's
vote
20
once.
20 votes, 2 categories. Make sure.
All right, please make sure you do that because we want to see him win. All right,
Win.
Maxwell Scott, yeah.
Bye bye.